Let me share a truth that has the power to completely shift the way you see your life. Your future, contrary to what many believe, isn't some magical event waiting to unfold at a distant point in time. It's not hidden behind the clouds of mystery or luck. No, your future is being built every single day, step by step, through the decisions and actions you take right now. You don't need a crystal ball to predict what's coming. All you need is the courage to make the right moves, today. And here's the beauty of it. The future responds in kind. What you're becoming matters far more than what you've been. The past is behind you, but your future is still unwritten, and the pen is in your hand today. Not next week, not next month, not when things feel perfect or the timing seems right. It starts this very moment. What you decide to do with this hour, yes, this exact hour, will either bring you closer to the life you desire or push it further out of reach. You see, success isn't some mysterious, elusive force reserved for a lucky few. It's simply the outcome of a few meaningful disciplines repeated consistently each day. And failure? That too is just the result of a few poor choices made over and over. So ask yourself, honestly, are you using today as an investment or just spending it away? Are you actively building your future or quietly postponing it again? Because in the end, your daily routine is your blueprint. If you're wondering where you'll be 5 years from now, take a hard look at what you're doing today. Let's take that journey together. Because your future doesn't begin tomorrow, it begins in every choice you make now. And your true power lies in that, the ability to choose in the present. This very moment is not just a fleeting second, it's your greatest asset, not your salary, your home, or your status. It's this moment, this ability to act right now. You can't rewrite yesterday. It's already been lived. You can't fast forward to tomorrow. It hasn't arrived yet. But today is wide open, and right now, you're holding the wheel. That makes today more powerful than most people realize, yet most people overlook that power. They let the day slide by 1 minute after another, as if time were infinite. They kill time, not realizing that time is not a disposable resource. It's an investment opportunity. Every second is a slice of your life you will never retrieve. And the harsh reality? We live as though time is unlimited. We treat today as if we'll always get another one. But time doesn't send warnings. It doesn't come with flashing lights or alarms to say, this is your final shot. It just moves forward, quietly and relentlessly. Whether you honor it or waste it, it keeps going. So if there's a dream burning in your heart, a better life you crave, don't wait for a more convenient time. Start now, not tomorrow, not when you're ready. Today is when the foundation is laid, not in the plans or the promises, but in the action you take. Because it's what you do today that becomes the seed of tomorrow's results. So let's keep it clear and simple. You have two options. You can spend your time or you can invest it. Spending feels comfortable. You scroll your phone, binge a show, relax a little too long. But investing? That's different. That means you pick up the book, make the uncomfortable call, show up for the habit even when motivation is low. That's not easy, but it's what sparks growth. Here's the difference. What you spend is gone forever, but what you invest returns with interest. Imagine if your future self could speak to you right now. What would it say? Thanks for wasting another hour? Thanks for delaying the things that really mattered? No. It would say, thank you for showing up, for using your time with intention, for practicing discipline even when no one else saw. Because of those choices, I'm living the life you once dreamed of. That future voice matters. It's not the voice of procrastination. It's the voice of potential. Your future is shaped not by distant dreams, but by the choices you make today. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful forces in that equation, your vision. You see that voice in your mind urging you to do better, to become more, That's not just noise, it's the voice of vision. But a vision remains invisible unless you bring it to life through action. And here's the truth. Life doesn't come with guarantees. It doesn't hand you promises. What it gives you are opportunities, and those aren't hiding in some far-off future. They're right here, in this very moment, in the decisions you face today. Will you open that book or keep scrolling endlessly? Will you speak up with purpose or stay silent and later regret it? Will you take action or let hesitation hold you back? These may seem like small decisions, but don't be fooled. They quietly, steadily shape the course of your life. Because in the long run, direction matters far more than speed. Let me share with you a simple truth that has steered my life for years. Days are expensive. Treat them with care. When you waste a day, you don't just lose 24 hours. You lose energy, momentum, and a piece of the person you had the chance to become. That opportunity you ignored, it may not come again. That progress you skipped, it's not waiting for you. That's why the present isn't just a measurement of time. It's a launch pad of potential. It's the only place from which real change begins. And the most encouraging part? No matter how many yesterdays you let slip away, today is still yours to command. That's the miracle we often overlook. The power of the present moment. So why? Not decide right now, yes now, not later, to be intentional with your time. Use it to grow, to serve, to create something meaningful. The future isn't patiently waiting for you to catch up. It's taking shape as we speak, molded by your current choices. Because the present moment, it's not just another passing minute. It's the birthplace of everything you've ever wanted, and that makes it your most valuable asset. Now let's talk about goals. Everyone loves setting them. People fill journals, plaster vision boards, and write intentions in fancy ink. That's a good start, no doubt. But here's the hard truth. Goals don't work unless you do. You can decorate your walls with quotes. You can look at your goal every single morning in the mirror. But if you don't take action, real, gritty, consistent action, it's all just wishful thinking. A goal without execution is a dream dressed up as progress. It sounds good, even feels inspiring, but it doesn't change your life. Make no mistake, goals are essential. They give you clarity, they give you purpose. But remember this, a goal is a compass, not a vehicle. It shows you the way, but you still have to walk the path. You still have to climb the hill, take the leap, sweat through the process. People often ask, Jim, how do I stay motivated to chase my goals? And here's what I tell them. Motivation is overrated. What you need is discipline. You need consistency. You need to decide, right now, that you'll do what needs to be done, even on the days you don't feel like it. Because your feelings, they come and go. But discipline? That's the backbone of achievement. You can't build a future on fleeting emotion. You build it on unshakable commitment. And here's what experience has taught me. It's not the size of your goal that determines your success. It's the size of your effort. You can dream as big as the stars, but if you never light the fuse, the rocket won't launch. You want to lose the weight? Will you go for a walk today? You want to grow the business? Will you make that important call today? You want to write that book? Then sit down and type the first page today. That's what separates the dreamers from the builders. That's the line between wishing and working, between hoping and creating. Because goals don't fulfill themselves. They don't have legs. You breathe life into them through action, day after day. And here's a final thought to carry forward. Success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the kind of person who deserves it. And who do you become? Not who you hope to be. Not who you talk about being. You become the result of your consistent daily actions. As we've just seen, dreams come to life not through wishful thinking, but through consistent daily action. And that brings us to the engine behind all progress: your habits. You could have the most inspiring, detailed, and beautifully crafted goals in the world. You could visualize your success down to the smallest detail. But if your daily habits don't support those dreams, they'll sit untouched, gathering dust, fading slowly into regret. Let me say it clearly. If your habits don't align with your goals don't stand a chance. You don't need to reinvent your dreams every Monday. What you truly need are habits that empower and sustain the vision you already have. That begins with a serious look at how you use your time. Are you truly scheduling your priorities, or just reacting to the noise of each day? Your calendar shouldn't just be a list of appointments or errands, it should be a map to your future. Transform your goals into clear plans. Break those plans into small, concrete steps, and then turn those steps into non-negotiable actions. Don't just admire the dream. Learn to admire the discipline it demands. Because here's the deal. Dreams may be free, but the discipline, the grind, that's the price you pay. So let's get real. If you've already written down a goal, great. That's the first move. But the journey doesn't stop there. Now comes the part that tests you, the commitment, the daily decision to show up, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one is cheering you on. Because success doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most consistent. Write down your goals. Yes, but then roll up your sleeves and get to work. Because goals don't work unless you do. You build your habits, and in return, your habits begin to build you. Let's take a closer look at something that may not feel exciting at first, but truly changes everything: habits. You see, life doesn't transform through grand events alone. True change happens when you create small daily disciplines and commit to repeating them over time. That's how real progress is made. You shape your habits, and over time, your habits shape you. People often ask, how do I become successful? My answer is simple. Look at your daily routine. Not your bucket list, not your hopes, but your everyday actions, the ones no one sees. Your routine is your foundation, your structure. It's the silent force moving you toward or away from your future. Think about it. You don't get fit by working out once a month. You don't become wealthy by saving a few dollars now and then. You don't become wise from reading one book a year. Success in any form is born from consistency, not convenience. Habits are like tiny seeds. You plant them through small actions today, and over time, they grow into patterns. Those patterns become routines, and eventually, your routines harden into your identity. That's why habits are so powerful. They don't shout, but they shape everything. They work silently, day in, day out. And they're always working, for you or against you. If procrastination is your habit, it's working, but against your progress. If discipline is your habit, it's also working, but in your favor. You're never truly standing still. Your habits are always nudging you forward or pulling you back. Every day, you're reinforcing one path or another. So here's the truth. You already have habits. The question isn't whether you do. The real question is, do your habits serve you or sabotage you? Now let's simplify it even further. Habits are built through repetition. You don't have to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. Start small, stay steady. 5 push-ups, 10 pages read, 1 phone call, 1 paragraph written. They may seem insignificant, but done daily, they carry incredible power. This is the magic of compounding. Small efforts, multiplied over time, produce extraordinary results. It's the principle of the slight edge, the idea that tiny daily improvements stack into major change. But beware, because the reverse is also true. Skip one workout, then another, then 3. And just like that, a new habit is born. But it's not fitness, it's avoidance. So ask yourself, not, do I have habits? But, are my habits helping me or hurting me? And here's something even deeper. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And your systems are built on your habits. So if you're serious about changing your life, don't just tweak your goals. Transform your habits. As we emphasized earlier, habits, the small, consistent actions you take each day, have the power to shape your entire life. And here's the next truth you need to grasp. It's not about being extreme. It's about being consistent. You don't need to sprint. You just need to keep showing up day after day. Because once those tiny disciplines become locked in, they begin to work on your behalf. Even when your motivation fades. Even on the days you feel exhausted, uninspired, or distracted, your habits will carry you forward. Why? Because success isn't fueled by emotion. It's driven by routine and discipline. Let me share a simple rule that changed my life. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. It's far better to endure the small discomfort of discipline now than to shoulder the heavy burden of regret later. And here's the good news. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just start by changing your morning or your evening, or even one single decision, because those small choices stack up, and over time, they become the framework that shapes your identity. You build habits, and then your habits build you, so build wisely, because the life you want is waiting on the other side of the routines you commit to today. Now let's talk about one of the biggest traps people fall into, waiting for the perfect moment. Let me ask you, how many people do you know who are still waiting? Waiting to feel ready. Waiting until everything settles down. Waiting until after the holidays, until the kids grow up, until the timing feels right. But here's the raw truth. There is no perfect time. And if you keep waiting for it, you'll be waiting forever. Life doesn't hand you ideal conditions. It gives you opportunities wrapped in inconvenience. And the longer you hesitate, the more momentum you lose. Every minute you stall is one less step forward. People love to say, "I'll begin when I feel ready." But that mindset is a trap, a seductive illusion. You don't need perfect timing. What you really need is courage. The courage to say, "I'll begin now, even if I don't feel 100% ready." Winners don't wait for the storm to pass. They learn to walk through the rain. They take action when it's chaotic, when it's unclear, when it's uncomfortable, because that's where growth happens. The people who succeed aren't the ones who had perfect timing. They're the ones who made the most of the time they had. Now, think about this. How many dreams have died, not because they were impossible, but because someone waited too long to start? How many talented people missed their breakthrough because they hesitated to take the first step? Waiting might feel safe, but it's not. It's dangerous. Because while you're waiting, doubt grows, energy fades, and the opportunity quietly slips away. Success belongs to those who begin before they feel ready. Not recklessly, not without thought, but with the understanding that progress comes from action, not from waiting. Let me give you a simple truth to remember. Indecision is the thief of opportunity. You don't need to know everything to begin. You just need the courage to take that first step. And once you do, the next step becomes clearer. Action reveals direction. Motion creates clarity. So don't let the fear of the unknown stop you from creating the future you deserve. Don't let the illusion of perfect timing steal the only time you actually have now. Whatever it is you've been putting off, start. Start small. Start afraid. Start uncertain, but start. Because results don't come from waiting. They come from doing. You don't move forward by overthinking. You move forward by taking action. In the previous section, we talked about the danger of waiting and how taking action, no matter how small, is what truly makes the difference. So what happens when you act consistently, day after day? The answer is simple. Everything begins to change. The clock is ticking. The world is moving. And the future is being built. not by those who wait, but by those who take action. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. This moment right now is all you need. Small actions, repeated daily, can create massive, lasting impact. A lot of people think success comes from one big moment, a breakthrough, a lucky chance, or a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But the truth is the opposite. Success is not one big thing. It's 1,000 small things done right over time. You don't leap to the top of a mountain. You climb it step by step. The same goes for your health, your business, your relationships, your future. Life is not transformed by dramatic events. It's shaped by the small, quiet disciplines you practice when no one is watching. That's where the real power lies. But here's the tricky part. Small things are easy to do, but also easy not to do. It's easy to walk for 20 minutes, but also easy to skip it. Easy to read 10 pages, but just as easy to scroll through social media. Easy to save a few dollars, but just as easy to spend carelessly. And that's the difference. Over time, those tiny decisions compound. They build momentum, either pushing you closer to the life you want or further from it. Every small action is a vote for the person you're becoming. You don't have to be extreme. You just have to be consistent. There's a principle I often teach. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. That's the danger and the opportunity. If you neglect the little things, nothing seems to change right away. You skip a workout. You still look fine. Eat one unhealthy meal. No big deal. But over time, the consequences catch up with you. And the opposite is also true. Start waking up 30 minutes earlier. Write one paragraph a day. Save just a few dollars each week. It might not seem like much now, but one day, those small changes can transform your entire life because these tiny actions, repeated day after day, build something powerful. They build character, they build confidence, and they build real, lasting results. Success doesn't shout. It doesn't come rushing in. It whispers. It waits. And it rewards those who remain loyal to the process. Want to get fit? Move your body a little every day. Want to become wise? Feed your mind a little each day. Want to build wealth? Make smart decisions every day. You don't reap the harvest the day you plant the seed. You reap because you kept planting, even when it felt slow or thankless. Small daily actions might feel invisible, but they are never wasted. Every rep counts. Every call matters. Every page builds. Don't underestimate the power of what you choose to do today, because success isn't built in a single day. It's built daily. In the end, your future won't be shaped by your intentions, hopes, or dreams. It will be shaped by your habits, and your habits are built by the choices you make every single day. So choose wisely. Start small. Stay steady, because small daily actions lead to extraordinary long-term results. And here's something simple, but life-changing. Time is more valuable than money. That may sound obvious, but most people don't live like it. Here's the truth. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. Once time is gone, it's gone for good. There are no refunds, no rewinds. You can't buy another hour at the end of your life. We just uncovered a simple yet powerful truth. Time is more valuable than money. And if that's true, and it absolutely is, then isn't it time to start treating it like the priceless asset it truly is? Because no matter how wealthy you are, you can't buy another minute. And that's exactly what makes time your most precious resource. Isn't it strange? People guard their money like it's sacred, but they waste time like it's endless. They'll check the price tag on a pair of shoes 10 times, but think nothing of spending hours scrolling through social media. They'll carefully budget every dollar, yet allow entire days to drift by without direction, purpose, or intention. Let me tell you something with confidence. Wealthy people value time more than money. Poor people trade time to save money. Rich people spend money to save time. Why? Because they understand that time is the source of all value. You build your life with it. You grow your skills with it. You nurture your relationships with it. And yes, you earn money by how you use your time. That's why I always tell people, don't just track your expenses, track your time. What are you doing with your mornings, your evenings, your weekends? Are you investing your time into what moves you forward, or spending it on what keeps you stagnant? Success doesn't happen in your free time. It happens when you learn how to make time work for you, not against you. You have 24 hours in a day. So does the millionaire. So does the athlete. So does the artist. So does the person you admire. The difference isn't time. It's how they use it. Let's talk about trade-offs, because every minute you spend is a trade. When you say yes to one thing, you're automatically saying no to something else. Say yes to sleeping in. You say no to progress. Say yes to distractions. You say no to growth. Say yes to excuses. You say no to results. That's the reality. And if you're not intentional with your time, it will quietly slip away, without you even noticing. So how do you treat time like money? You spend it on what truly matters. You invest it in learning, in building skills, in relationships, in creating things that last. You protect it from people, habits, and distractions that waste it. And most importantly, you become aware of one simple fact. Every hour is a decision. Let me repeat that. Every single hour is a decision. And the more wisely you decide, the more valuable your life becomes. If you want to predict someone's future, look at how they treat their time today. So start treating time with the respect it deserves. Don't just fill your calendar, fill your life. Don't just stay busy, stay intentional. And don't just work for money, make time work for you. Because at the end of the day, money can buy many things, but time is the one thing that, once gone, can never be bought back. So where should you invest first? Invest in yourself, like your life depends on it, because it does. If there's one investment that guarantees the highest return, it's not real estate, it's not stocks, it's not business, it's you. The most valuable asset you'll ever own is yourself. And yet, many people spend more on their wardrobe than on their personal growth. They upgrade their phones every year, but never upgrade their mindset. They spend hundreds on entertainment, but hesitate to buy a single book that could change their future. Here's a truth that's simple, but life-altering. Your income will rarely exceed your personal growth, your success, your influence, your contribution. All of it increases as you grow. The marketplace doesn't pay you for time. It pays you for value. And the only way to deliver more value is to become more valuable. You can't wish for a better life and stay the same. You have to start building it from the inside out. Now let's go deeper into what that really means, because when you grow, everything else in your life grows with you. That's why I always say, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Your job may give you income, but your mindset, your character, your habits, they define your destiny. Work on your attitude, strengthen your discipline, improve your communication, develop emotional control, because those are the invisible roots that produce the visible fruits. Every time you read a book, listen to a mentor, take a course, or practice a skill, you're planting seeds. They may not bloom immediately, but if you stay consistent, day by day, those seeds turn into wisdom, confidence, and capability. And here's the part most people forget. No one else can do this work for you. Others can inspire, encourage, and guide you, but only you can do the inner work of growth. And let me tell you something powerful. When you grow, your life transforms. You start making smarter decisions. You begin walking away from what drains you. You speak more clearly. You act with conviction. You live with deeper purpose. The world begins to respond to you differently because you show up differently. Success doesn't begin when you land a better job, get a lucky break, or stumble into opportunity. It begins the moment you make the decision to become a better version of yourself. And don't wait for anyone to give you permission. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take what you know and make it work. Buy the book. Watch the seminar. Ask the hard questions. Practice the uncomfortable skill. Take the course. Do the work. Because every single day you choose to invest in yourself, you're reclaiming ownership of your future. Now let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you dedicated just 30 minutes a day to growth? Not to distractions, not to entertainment, but to true, focused growth. Where would you be a year from now? 5 years? 10? That's the power of personal investment. It compounds, it multiplies, it creates freedom, it gives you options. It builds a life based not on chance, but on ability and clarity. So if you're truly serious about success, don't just chase money, chase mastery. Don't just collect things, collect wisdom. Because everything you want in life, freedom, fulfillment, achievement, is connected to just one thing, the person you're becoming. And the best way to become that person? Start investing in yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Now, let's talk about something that most people overlook, but it holds the key to everything we've discussed so far. Your daily routine, because it's true. Your routine predicts your future. Let me ask you something simple. What does your average day look like? Because if you show me your routine, I can show you your future. You don't need a crystal ball. You just need to look at your calendar, because what you do daily is creating the life you'll be living 5 years from now. Here's the truth. Your routine is either your foundation or your prison. It's either lifting you higher or holding you down. It's either moving you toward the life you want or locking you into the life you keep saying you want to change. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't need a perfect routine, but you do need one that's intentional. Too many people are living by default. They wake up late, rush out the door, react to the chaos, and collapse at night wondering why they feel stuck. That's not a routine. That's survival. If you want to thrive, you must design your day like your future depends on it, because it does. Let's break it down. What do your mornings look like? Do they start with clarity or chaos? Are you beginning the day with intention or diving straight into distraction? Because your first hour shapes the tone of everything that follows. Then ask yourself, what are you feeding your mind? Are you scrolling through negativity or learning something that empowers you? Are you reacting to problems or proactively creating solutions? And what about your evenings? Do you reflect? Do you reset? Do you plan for tomorrow? Or just crash into the couch and let the hours slip away? Think of it this way. Your routine is the structure that keeps your goals alive, especially when your motivation fades. And here's a truth worth engraving in: your mind. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. No matter how inspiring your dreams are, if your daily actions don't match them, they'll remain nothing more than wishful thinking. Big visions require small, repeatable actions to become reality. So here's a question you should ask yourself, one that can be life-changing. If I repeated today's routine every day for the next 365 days, where would I end up? Would I be healthier, wealthier, wiser, closer to the person I want to become? If your honest answer is no, then it's time for change. Not an overnight overhaul, but a steady, intentional shift, one habit at a time. Start with your mornings. Cut the noise. Schedule your growth. Carve out time for what truly matters. Protect your focus like it's gold, because it is. Your time and energy are not infinite. Use them wisely. Here's what most people overlook. The secret to your success is hidden in your daily agenda, not in once-in-a-lifetime events, not in lucky breaks, but in the tiny, seemingly ordinary moments that repeat every day. Excellence isn't a single act. It's a habit, and habits are forged in your routine. So take back control of your days, because when you master your routine, you begin to master your results. And when your results become consistent, your future becomes predictable. Not by chance, not by luck, but by choice. Discipline is the bridge that connects dreams to reality. Everyone wants the dream, a better life, a stronger body, a more fulfilling career. But here's the part most people avoid. Dreams are free. Discipline is the price, and very few are willing to pay. They want the result without the repetition. They want the prize without running the race. They want the success without the sacrifice. But that's not how it works. Discipline is what brings the dream to life. It's doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when comfort begs you to sleep. It's showing up when no one's watching. It's repeating the same skill over and over until it sticks. Motivation is great. It gets you started. But motivation doesn't last. Discipline does. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired, bored, or uninspired. It shows up anyway. It puts in the work. It finishes the task. Now let me be honest. Discipline isn't easy. But you know what's also hard? Regret. Discipline may ask for your focus today, but regret will rob you of your future. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. So ask yourself, which weight would you rather carry? Choose your heart. Because either way, there's a price to pay. You can pay the price of discipline today, or you can pay the heavier, more painful price of regret tomorrow. And I promise you, discipline is always the cheaper option. But here's where many people get it wrong. They think discipline means being perfect. It doesn't. Discipline means being consistent. It's not about never slipping up. It's about making the right decision more often than not. It's about sticking to the plan, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when no one notices or applauds. Discipline is the quiet work behind the scenes that leads to loud results in the spotlight. And the best part? Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It's a skill. You start by keeping small promises to yourself. Wake up when you said you would. Finish what you start. Show up even after the mood has faded. Each time you do that, your discipline gets stronger. And as your discipline grows, success starts to feel easier because you're no longer relying on mood or willpower. You've built a system that works. The truth is, the gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't filled with talent. It's filled with daily discipline. So if you truly want the dream, start building the habits that support it. Honor your word, sharpen your focus, respect your time, because no dream works unless you do. Coming up next, we'll explore how your environment, what surrounds you every day, can either support your growth or silently sabotage it. In the last part, we saw how discipline isn't just a tool for reaching goals. It's the key to becoming someone who doesn't quit, someone who builds their life with intention and strength. But there's another powerful force that often gets overlooked: your environment. Let's dive into that. When you live with discipline, the rewards go far beyond just checking off goals. You don't just achieve more, you become more. You become someone others can rely on, someone who doesn't fold under pressure, someone who commands respect, not just from others, but from yourself. Discipline builds consistency, sharpens character, and most of all, it brings freedom. Yes, freedom. Because once you've built the strength to follow through, you're no longer a prisoner of your feelings, your fears, or your distractions. You're no longer reacting, you're choosing. Discipline gives you the power to build the life you want, instead of settling for the one that's handed to you. So don't wait around, hoping discipline will appear. Build it, practice it, live it. Because in the end, your dreams don't work unless your discipline does. But there's one more layer to this. Who you surround yourself with matters just as much as the discipline you practice. Let me share with you a principle that changed my life. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This isn't just a clever quote, it's a law of influence, a law of your environment. The people you're around are shaping the person you're becoming. If you consistently spend time with people who complain, you'll find yourself complaining more. If you're surrounded by those who blame, you'll start making excuses. But if you intentionally associate with people who live with purpose, who act with focus, who are constantly growing, you start to rise to their level. That's the power of association. Because here's the truth. Success is contagious, but so is failure. When your circle includes people who set goals, read books, take care of their health, speak with clarity and intention, you start to absorb those habits. Not because they're preaching at you, but because their presence pulls you forward. And the opposite is just as true. If your closest friends are drifting through life, gossiping, wasting time, and settling for less, you'll begin to believe that's normal. And that's the danger. The scary part? You won't even notice it happening. It's subtle. It creeps in slowly. But over time, your standards start to drop. Your goals get smaller. Your drive begins to fade. Why? Because environment matters. And people are your environment. So ask yourself a big question. Are you spending time with people who live on purpose or with people stuck on autopilot? Intentional people live differently. They don't waste time. They speak with clarity. They take responsibility. They follow through. And just by being around them, you sharpen, you level up. You're challenged to grow, to rise, to stop settling. They remind you that the standard is higher. Now let's be clear. This isn't about judging others. It's not about acting superior. It's about protecting your potential. It's about surrounding yourself with people who elevate you, not by their words, but by their example. People who don't just talk about growth, but actually live it. People who don't just dream big, but take action. People who refuse to settle for average because they know they were made for more. And here's the good news. You don't need 100 of them. You just need a few who make you think bigger, act sharper, live deeper. So here's a challenge worth accepting. Take inventory of your circle. Not with arrogance, but with awareness. Ask yourself, are they helping me grow or keeping me small? Are they holding me accountable or letting me slide? Are they expanding my vision or encouraging my comfort zone? Are they energizing me or draining me? Because if the answer is clear, then so is the decision. Your future is too valuable to be shaped by people who aren't aiming for more. Let's explore how clarity of vision, knowing exactly what you want, can transform your energy, your direction, and your destiny. In the last section, we reflected on the power of relationships, how the people you surround yourself with can either hold you down like an anchor or lift you like the wind. But here's the final piece. Your future is not shaped by chance. It's shaped by choice. So here we are. We've explored your goals, your time, your habits, your discipline. We've talked about who you walk with and how your small daily decisions quietly steer your direction. Now it's time to bring it all together, to see the bigger picture that's been forming all along. Let's be clear. The future is not a mystery. It's a result. It doesn't just happen. It isn't dealt to you like a card from a shuffled deck. It's not written in fate, luck, or chance. The future is built. It's earned. Your future is the product of what you do, and just as importantly, of what you choose not to do. It's the outcome of the standards you set for yourself, the actions you repeat, and the values you refuse to compromise. So if you ever wonder what your future looks like, stop guessing. Just look around. Look at your habits. Look at your daily routine. Look at your calendar, at what you prioritize. Look at the things you tolerate and the things you no longer allow. Because everything matters. Every choice, every conversation, every yes, every no, every minute invested or wasted. It's all leading you somewhere. So the question isn't, will I have a future? The question is, what kind of future am I building today? Don't leave it to chance. Don't let it surprise you. Design it, shape it, build it, one intentional choice at a time. If you want better results, start by becoming a better version of yourself. If you want more opportunity, make yourself more valuable. If you want a brighter, stronger, more fulfilling life, build the habits to match. It's not a mystery, but it is intentional. You don't stumble into purpose. You don't drift into greatness. You don't accidentally become disciplined, focused, or fulfilled. You choose your way there. And the good news is, you get to choose again every single day. Every sunrise brings a new moment to recalibrate, to recommit, to raise your standard, and act like your future depends on it, because it absolutely does. So stop making excuses. Start making progress. Stop chasing comfort. Start chasing growth. Stop waiting. Start working. Start living. Start building. Because when it's all said and done, your future won't be decided by the economy, by politics, or by the weather. It will be decided by you, by your effort, by your discipline, by the moments you refused to waste, by the decisions you were brave enough to make when it mattered most. That's the truth. The future is not a mystery. It's a result. And that result? It's being written right now by what you do today. So what will you do today? Because in the end, your future isn't found in luck, timing, or what happens around you. It's found in the quiet moments, the daily choices, the habits you build, and the standards you uphold when no one is watching. Your future is not waiting for permission. It's waiting for your decision. So take ownership. Take the first step. No more delays. No more excuses. Start building. Start believing. Start becoming. Because the life you want isn't a fantasy. It's a result. And that result begins with you. If this message spoke to you, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and subscribe for more powerful insights every single week.